All right, let's get right into it. We're all so focused on our training, right? Our splits, our macros, all the big stuff. But today we're going to talk about a truth that most of us overlook. Peak performance doesn't really start in the gym. It starts with something way, way smaller.
So, I want you to really think about this for a second. What if the key to unlocking that next level of energy, that faster recovery, isn't another brutal workout, but it's actually hidden inside the food you're already eating? We're talking about the secret world of vitamins and minerals.
Yeah, these are seriously the unsung heroes of our health. I mean, carbs, protein, fat, they get all the glory, right? They're the superstars. But micronutrients, they're the incredible crew working behind the scenes, making the whole show possible.
So, what are they exactly? Well, I love this analogy. Think of your body as this high tech workshop. Your macros, carbs and proteins, they're the raw materials, like the wood and steel. But the micronutrients, the vitamins and minerals, they are the tools. They're the wrenches, the drills, the specialized gear that allows the workers, your enzymes and hormones, to actually build, repair, and generate energy. Without the right tools, that whole assembly line just grinds to a halt. And here's the crazy part. A lot of us are walking around with a seriously incomplete toolkit. It's not a small number either. A huge chunk of the population is falling short on these essential vitamins and minerals. And look, these aren't just little nice-to-have things. These deficiencies are directly linked to some really big problems, like insulin resistance.
All right, so let's make this real. Let's connect these tiny little tools to things you can actually feel every single day. Your power in the gym, your performance on the field, and how well your body protects and repairs itself. First up, let's talk about the famous sunshine vitamin, vitamin D. We mostly think of it for bone health, but oh man, its role in your performance is so much bigger than that. Okay, so yeah, we all know it's crucial for getting calcium into your bones. That's a given. But did you know it plays a direct role in how your muscles contract? And it influences how your body releases insulin? It even helps keep your immune system in check. So, a deficiency isn't just about weaker bones. It literally means weaker muscle performance and a much higher risk of getting sidelined by an injury. The story of vitamin C is actually pretty wild. You go back in history and you have sailors getting scurvy, where their bodies would literally start to fall apart because they couldn't produce collagen to repair their connective tissues. Now, fast forward to today, we see a less dramatic but similar story in athletes. If you're low on vitamin C, you might just feel that extra soreness that won't go away, or a deep fatigue. And why is that? Because vitamin C is absolutely essential for building collagen, the very stuff that makes up your tendons and ligaments. So yeah, better recovery, it starts right here. And then you've got iron. Man, this quote just says it all. You could have the most dialed-in training plan on the planet, but if your iron levels are in the tank, it just doesn't matter. Iron is what helps your red blood cells carry oxygen. So not enough iron means not enough oxygen getting to your muscles. It's that simple. You just hit a wall. You feel completely gassed, even when you feel like you should be at your peak. Okay, so we've seen how this stuff impacts the big picture, performance, recovery. Now let's zoom in even closer. Let's go past the muscles and bones, right down to the cellular level, inside the metabolic workshop itself.
Take a look at this number. Over 300. What in the world could that be? Well, it's the number of absolutely critical jobs that our next micronutrient is responsible for in your body.
That number, that's magnesium. It's a cofactor, basically a tiny helper molecule for over 300 different enzymes. Just let that sink in for a second. 300. It's helping to manage your blood sugar, it's regulating the signals firing between your nerves, and it's involved in every single muscle twitch and contraction you make. So if you've ever dealt with those frustrating muscle cramps or felt super irritable during a tough training block, yeah, low magnesium could absolutely be the reason why. And of course, magnesium doesn't fly solo. You've got this whole team of key players. Take zinc, for example, which hangs out in the pancreas, helping to manage insulin. Then there's selenium, which is like your body's personal bodyguard, acting as an antioxidant and firing up your thyroid hormones to set your metabolic rate. And you can't forget the B vitamins. They're the classic spark plugs that help you turn the food you eat into actual usable energy. Okay, so we've got all this info. What do we actually do with it? This brings us to the most important part, really. How to build your own food-first foundation. So what's the big takeaway here? It's definitely not to run out and buy a cart full of supplements. The philosophy is simple. Food first, always. The foundation has to be whole foods because that's where you get the entire symphony of nutrients working together. Supplements,
they have a role for sure, but they're the backup singers. They're there to fill specific, confirmed gaps, not to replace a solid diet. So here's your game plan, super straightforward. Step 1, just focus on eating the rainbow. Build your plate with a huge variety of plants, some seafood, nuts, whole grains, all the good stuff. Step 2, if you think something's off, don't guess. Work with your doctor to run some simple labs. Check your vitamin D, check your iron. Step 3, if you do find a gap, try to fix it with food first. And finally, remember this is a moving target. Your body's needs change with the seasons and with your training load, so it's a really good idea to check in and reassess every few months.
So let's wrap up with this thought. We call them micronutrients because, yeah, you only need them in tiny amounts. But their impact is anything but micro. It is absolutely foundational.
And that leaves us with one last question for you to take away. Forget about completely overhauling your diet overnight. Just think about today, right now. Based on everything we just talked about, what's just one nutrient-rich food you can add to your plate? Maybe it's a handful of nuts or some spinach in your smoothie. That small step, that's where it all begins.